These are the H&R Sports. Now these are the second pair of springs I've put in. You originally put in the MSS height adjustable springs, which the fronts look like this. So you pull the strut out, that goes on your base plate, spring, bump stop, happy days. The problem with this, I suspect it's the first version because I've seen that they've got a lower version of it now. I think this spring is just not the right size. Had very little adjustment to make it actually low, and look, don't get me wrong, it looked good on a ride height, but the ride itself was pretty average. It used to kind of bump and like really knock, and even to the point that the driver's side, which in our case Australia is on the right hand side, it actually got loose, and I actually freaked out. I had to come home really quickly and then basically tightened it all up, and it kind of never happened again. But yeah, not a fan of the MSS. Even the rears, same again. Conceptually, one of the reasons I got it, conceptually was it has a three spring rate and an adjusting collar in here. Super hard to adjust once it's in, and by the nature of how, and that's the H&Rs, right? By the nature of how it actually all works is, it's actually, I suspect the way the car moves, suspension moves, there's wobble. So I constantly had to adjust the springs because, like, you know, you'd set them to exactly the same gap, and it would be out. That side would be, and we did two cars. We did my car, which is this is the M3 340i, and did a mate of mine's M440i, and the same problem occurred. The right height on the right hand rear kept on being like 6 mil or a quarter of an inch higher every single time, and so you had to keep on adjusting it to get it look level. I didn't have a lot of issues with the rears apart from having to kind of constantly adjust them, but I just suspect that because of the adjusting collar being in the middle, it wasn't great. Put the H&Rs in, really happy with them, apart from the fact that the rears still sit too high. The fronts sit, I would say, just right. The rears are still too high. This to me would be fine on a G80 M3, not a G82 M4, which is what I have, right? I've just done the X-pipe on this thing, so whilst the thing's up in the air, I thought I'll do this video as well. So I wasn't going to make the same mistake with getting the MSS's or the H&Rs, because again I knew that the backs wouldn't come down enough. I really do believe that on a G80 would be fine. On a G82, the ride height is very, like, it comes about 30 mil from the guard to the wheel, so it's even front and back, whereas on the G80 it's not the same, right? So I opted for the AST height adjustable suspension. Again, single coil, then the adjuster, and I want to actually, while I'm on it, I want to talk about the fact that a lot of people ask about KWs versus this. KWs are really good. The only reason why I didn't like them is the KWs don't come with a grommet up the top here, right? So therefore they tend to move, and people have issues adjusting them if they want to adjust the car in car, I should say. Whereas these ASTs have a grommet on the top, which basically means that top adjusting nut doesn't move, so it's really good. So if I want to adjust, I just undo the Allen key, turn it, and it's perfect. Never had an issue with it. I suspect that AST have copied all the good shit that KW did and just made it a little bit better. I mean, again, it depends really also about your preference on colour. I don't really care what my springs look like. No one ever sees them. The KW's got that orange and purpley thing, so that's okay. Another benefit of the ASTs, as with the KWs, is you no longer have this massive base plate, right? I know with a mate of mine, he put some pretty big wheels on his 440 and he was rubbing against this. So with this, it's so small, there's no rub, right? So I like that. When I saw that as a design, I knew that that's what I wanted after going with those MSSs. So yeah, that's it. Bottom line is, I wouldn't get an MSS ever again. Sorry, MSS. H&Rs are great if you've got an M3. I wouldn't put on an M4. I'd go KWs or AST HAS, but I've gone for the ASTs because of the rear grommet, as I said. But they're very similar. I mean, apart from colour. KW's been doing it forever today, and I have no issue with them in terms of as an org, as a spring, as a height adjustable spring set, except for that fact that the only way that people seem to be getting around the adjusters is retrospectively trying to put super glue between the chassis and the locking arm, which is, you know, hit and miss to me, problematic. And I just want to put it in, adjust it, happy days. So for me, AST is the win, but I thought I'd give you a bit of a view about what they all are and what my preferences are. Leave a comment in the description below if you think that I'm talking out of my ass. But that's based on having 3 lots of suspension in 2 of these cars, right, the M4 and the 340i. Alright, thanks.